Good day. Our presentation is all about Betty Neuman and her system model. The presenters are Precious Nicole A. Padua, Tanrad Nathaniel O. Panuga, Alicia May G. Pescador. These are the objectives: the background of Betty Neuman, Neuman system model, major concepts, major assumptions, and the conclusion.
Good day, everyone. Before we discuss about the Neuman systems model, let's first explore Betty Neuman's background. Betty Neuman is the one who developed the Neuman systems model, and she was born on September 11, 1924 in Lowell, Ohio, and died on May 28, 2022 at 97 years old. Her awards include her receiving her nursing diploma from the People's Hospital School of Nursing in Akron, Ohio after the end of World War II in 1947. She also receives her bachelor's degree in mental health and public health from University of California, Los Angeles in 1957. Lastly, she earned her doctoral degree in clinical psychology from Pacific Western University.
Her theory is all about understanding how stress affects people. It is also a framework that looks at the individual as a whole, including their physical, emotional, mental, and social aspects. It also aims to keep everything in balance despite the stressors that come the client's day. Ito po yung mismong system model niya. Her model provides a holistic approach where clients are viewed as a whole whose parts are in a dynamic interaction, meaning the development of the client is nakadepende sa reciprocal interaction with the environment. Because of this, there is a continuous flow, making it an open system. Kasi po meron pong continuous flow of input, output, process, and feedback. Where stress and reaction to stress are the basic components of the open system. And under this open system, we have the function or the process of exchanging energy, information, and matter with the environment. The input and output. This is the energy, matter, and information that are being exchanged. Yung energy po yung nag-help sa atin para ma-maintain yung stability and balance ng mind and body, para rin maging maayos yung function and process. Feedback and action to change, enhance, or stabilize the system. Whenever the client receives a stressor, ito po yung magiging next step niya. Negentropy, moving the system towards stability. Whenever stressors occur, meron pong magiging feedback yung client, and whatever her or his feedback is, if positive po yun, magiging stable po yung system niya. Negentropy, moving the system towards stability. Whenever stressors occur, meron pong magiging feedback yung client, and whatever her or his feedback is, if positive po yun, magiging stable po yung system niya. The stability, this is the desirable state of balance in which energy can take place.
The next major concept is the client system. Client system represents the individual, family, group, or community being cared for. It consists of 5 variables. The first variable is the physiological variable. It is the bodily structure and internal function. When we say physiological variable, it is also known as our physical variable. It is about our body and how it works. The next is psychological variable. It is the mental process and interactive environmental effects. It is about our thoughts and how we interact with our environment. The third is the socio-cultural variable. It is the effects of both social-cultural conditions and influences. When we talk about socio-cultural variable, it is about how social and cultural factors affect us. The fourth variable is the developmental variable. It is the age-related developmental processes. It is about the changes in growth as we age. The fifth variable is the spiritual variable. It is the spiritual beliefs and influences. It is about our beliefs and their impact on our well-being.
Under the client system, we have the basic client structure, which is consisting of basic survival factors common among human beings. This is being protected by 3 lines of defenses. The first one being the outermost layer line, the flexible line of defense. This is the protective buffer preventing stressors from breaking through the usual wellness state presented by the normal line of defense. Example po dito is the age, spiritual being, and social support na meron si client. The next one, normal line of defense, the adaptational level of health developed over time and serves as the standard by which to measure wellness deviation. And the innermost layer part, line of resistance. Ito pong tatlong broken circle. Kaya po tatlo siya kasi po it should be the strongest among them. Kasi if ineffective po yung dalawang line or may nag-penetrate po na stressor, siya na po yung maapektuhan. So example po nato is the body's immune response system ni client. When the lines of resistance are effective, the client system can reconstitute. Meaning po, magbibuild up lang po ulit siya if ever pong merong stressor na umabot doon and kailangan nyo pong i-resolve yun. However, if they are ineffective, death may ensue. The amount of resistance to a stressor is determined by the interrelationship of the 5 variables of the client system. Another major concept is the health. This is the continuum of wellness to illness, and it's dynamic and it's constantly changing. Ito pong health, meron po siyang 2 sides. And ang una po is the wellness, and nag-exist lang po ito if all systems, subparts interact in harmony within the whole system. And sa opposite side naman po nito is the illness. Ito po nag-represent ng state of instability and energy depletion.
Stressors are tension-producing stimuli that have the ability to disrupt the system's stability that may result to a negative or positive aftermath. Stressors could be caused by the following. First is intrapersonal forces. This occurs within an individual such as conditioned response. They can be psychological or physiological conditions like anxiety, fear, or illness. An example of intrapersonal forces is the anxiety that someone feels about a job interview. Next is interpersonal forces. It occurs between one or more individuals, such as role expectations. It involves the interaction between individuals. An example of interpersonal forces is the expectations your boss has for you for your performance at work, or the conflict with a colleague, arguments with family, and peer pressure. The last is the extrapersonal forces. This originates outside the individual but impacts them, such as financial services. Then we have the degree of reaction. It shows how unstable the system becomes when stressors get past the normal line of defense. It is how strongly a person responds to stressors influenced by various aspects like physical and mental factors. Example of this is if a patient faces a lot of stress, it throws them off balance and makes them feel overwhelmed. And yung reaction ng patient or how strongly they react to stress depends on their health. If they're not well, their reaction is stronger and more noticeable. Pwede din pong mas lumala yung situation nila, causing them increased anxiety, and it might make it hard for them to function normally. Next is the prevention as intervention. It means taking actions to maintain the client's stability. This action occurs before or after stressors impact the client's normal defenses. Interventions depend on the client's reaction, resources, goals, and expected outcomes. We have 3 levels of intervention. First is the primary prevention. It is the actions taken to prevent encountering stressors or reduce their impact. It is done when a stressor is suspected but before a reaction occurs. Next is the prevention as intervention. It means taking actions to maintain the client's stability. This action occurs before or after stressors impact the client's normal defenses. Interventions depend on the client's reaction, resources, goals, and expected outcomes. We have three levels of intervention. First is the primary prevention. It is the actions taken to prevent encountering stressors or reduce their impact. It is done when a stressor is suspected but before a reaction occurs. Ang goal naman po ng primary prevention is to prevent complications from occurring. Next is the secondary prevention. Secondary prevention are interventions after stress symptoms appear, using resources to strengthen defenses and reduce the reaction. Ang goal ng secondary prevention is to reduce the severity of the patient's illness and prevent escalation. Lastly is the tertiary prevention. It occurs after treatment or secondary prevention, focusing on readjustment and maintaining wellness by preventing recurrence. It cycles back to primary prevention like avoiding known stressors. Ang goal po ng tertiary prevention is to prevent recurrence and manage the client's condition by maintaining their well-being while avoiding stressors. Last major concept is the reconstitution. It occurs after treatment for stressor reactions. It's about regaining stability after treating stress, potentially reaching a different wellness level than before. Example naman po for reconstitution is a patient na na-stroke. After po ng patient sa treatment for stroke, is inadvisean siya ng doctor na mag-undergo for rehabilitation therapy, which is the way po para mag-start ang pag-regain ng patient sa stability na health niya. After doing therapy, syempre po, mai-improve na yung mobility, speech, and daily functioning ng patient, kaya he or she is able to reach a new wellness level and a much more stable state po.
Better human nursing paradigm. Nursing is seen as intervention that helps clients maintain, regain, or achieve optimal wellness. Nurse assists thus clients stressor develop to struggle to promote stability and facilitate that individual ability to adapt to changes circumstance. So dito po is mag-aadlan tayo tungkol sa nursing. Sa pamamagitan ng pag-alaga natin sa kanila ay nagsasakop tayo ng mga intervention upang mabawasan ang mga stress at maibalik ang balance ng nakatuon sa pag-iwas upang mapanatili o mabawi ang kalusugan nila. Person. According to Neuman's model, the individual could be a person, family, group, or community. The individual having fundamental frameworks is perceived as a continuous engaging with the surrounding in dynamic manners. So dito po is mag-adlan tayo tungkol sa persons. Titignan din ni Better Neumann ang tao bilang isang sistema, may mga physiological or structural sa pagunlad ng pang-spiritual na mga dimension na lahat ay nakipag-ugnayan upang mapanatili ang mga katatagan nito. Health. According to Neumann's health is a continuum that represent the degree to encompass a holistic viewpoint that takes into account the physical, physiological, or structural and development components with the energy needed to support life is not available that occur. Environment. Humans define the environment as all factors both internal and external that influence the client system, and the environment is a surrounding client system to representing a different level of influence. In human system models, identify the three relevant environment. First one is internal, second is external, and the third is a create. And also, mag-add lang po ako ng idea tungkol sa environment. The environment includes the indoor or outdoor environments that affect the patient. Application of human story assessment. Assess the patient's system as a whole including the 5 variables additional. Identify existing stressors and check the patient's list of defense. So dito po is may add lang tayo tungkol sa assessment. The nurse gathers information about internal is emotional and physical. And sa external naman po is environment and social stressor. This include evaluating the patient physiological and social postural, developmental, and spiritual factors determine